Alright, so the turbo putt or turbo spin, I'm going to differentiate those, and I'm going to differentiate it by this. A turbo putt, you can put your thumb here and all your fingers are going to wrap around like this. All your fingers are going to be like this, and you're going to throw it. I don't personally do that. I mean, it's neat, but I do a turbo spin, and the problem with the turbo putt to me is you have no real control. You can't turn this thing, you can't do anything. It's going to fall out of your hand. It doesn't feel secure. So a turbo spin, you're going to make rock and roll, dude. You're going to make the rock and roll hands, okay? And you're going to have 4 points of contact. Your thumb is going to be in the middle of the disc. The rim of the disc is going to lay across here. Now it's important that it lays across here, not with your fingers are never going to touch the flight plate. Your fingers don't touch the flight plate. It just rests. It just rests like that. Okay? So thumb in the middle, and then your fingers are going to be on top. Okay? So you can adjust the width of your fingers. You can also adjust the tilt of your thumb. If you're doing everything that we're going to talk about correctly, you're spinning it right and everything, but your disc is just boop down into the ground a little too soon, then what you need to do is push your thumb up more. You can see just by moving my thumb, the disc comes up. So you want it not necessarily exactly straight up, but pretty straight. Okay? So rock and roll hands. Boom, like that. Okay? It's also important that when you throw this disc, the most important part of this is the spin on the disc. Your arm and all that, that's great, and that'll get you some more distance, but the spin off your hand is what makes this thing go. Sort of like a forehand. You can have an X step, run up, you can do all this crazy stuff, but if you're not actually flicking the disc, it's not going to go anywhere. This is the same. This is sort of like a forehand just thrown up. Okay? It's also important to realize that as opposed to like a push spin putt or a spin putt or whatever that's going to fade off to the left, right-handed backhand, it's going to fade off to the left. This is just like a forehand. It's going to fade off to the right. Alright? It's going to fade off to the right. So you have to compensate for that. So, rock and roll hands, boom, like this. Okay? You got 4 points of contact. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make the adjustments with the width of your fingers and the up and down part of your thumb. Alright? Spin it. I like to start with this finger totally facing behind me, and as I come around, I spin it like that. Disc selection is very important. So I throw several different discs for this. I throw a Mako, which is not a putter, but it flies really well for this, and a Swan Reborn. These are understable, so they're not going to fade off to the right as hard, right? They're going to go straighter, longer, and have a more gentle fade. So those are great for real long putts. This is stable, about neutral stability. A dart and an ion. I learned how to throw this putt with the dart. I have 3 darts. This is an excellent disc. If you're just starting out, this disc will teach you how to throw any throw that you want. Dart, I recommend that. But both these are pretty neutral. And then overstable, I got a Wizard Super Soft and a BT Hard Shield. Alright, these are going to fade off quicker. So it just depends on what you want. To me, the harder plastic is better for this. The softer plastic is just a little bit gummy. It doesn't fly quite right. It doesn't feel quite right coming out of the hand. Alright, so looks like it's starting to rain. Alright, so we'll do some examples and I'll talk you through what I'm talking about.
The black night sky. light of the night, the earth collide of sapphire, orbit away, while now below the tree, on cold breeze, silver star breeze, then down from night, and we pass on by the crimson night of graveyard miles we travel the universe.
Alright, so to recap, rock and roll hands, adjust with this, and when you throw it, you are throwing it a little bit on an angle. You're not throwing it completely flat. You're throwing it a little bit like this, and you're throwing it hard. You want to hard. You're kind of pointing at the target. Poof. 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 Alright? You want almost all or all of your weight on your back foot. If you're right-handed, backhanded, then you want to lead. You want your left foot to be out front and your right foot to be in back, sort of like you're throwing a baseball from the outfield. All right. All your weight on your back foot. If your things are taking a nosedive, your shots are taking a nosedive, it's either because you got this, your thumb is too low, or you're leaning forward. So therefore, you're throwing it forward. With leaning back, you get more loft. With your thumb up, it keeps the nose up, so it'll fly farther. Alright, so if you have any questions, let me know. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Alright.